heard of Carmilla? In 1872, a gay gothic vampire romance would fall into obscurity, but generations later would gain the critical acclaim it now has, which it's said to be one that coined a lot of the tropes in vampire literature. A quarter century later, the Bram Stoker novel Dracula would release in 1897. This is the household vampire name, and it exists in almost all vampire fantasy. Not a whole century later, Blade would have its original comic hit shelves in 1973, in which a half-vampire who can bypass most of the tropes and vampire limitations is a vampire hunter, which would also receive its first film in 1998. But let's pause on that, because the manga Vampire Hunter D would have its first novel drop in 1983. This is important because little do many people know this would go on to be a major inspiration to Castlevania, also known as Demon Castle Dracula, the video game franchise first cropping up in 1986. Besides Alucard, read that backwards, being a Dhampir half-vampire, the series would later take some inspiration from the novels directly. But what's interesting is, in the 1999 Vampire Hunter D game for the PS1, one of the bad guys is revealed to be Elizabeth Bartley Carmilla. Sound familiar? This exact character name, minus the last name, is shared in Castlevania Bloodlines from 1994, which is curious because in 2000, the Vampire Hunter D series would receive a feature-length film titled Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust, my bad. Anyway, fast forward a couple decades. Vampire Survivors released in early access in late 2021. Clear and admitted inspiration from Castlevania. Redundant even. If you've seen the game, let alone played it, you'd realize that. Besides including Easter eggs of everything I've mentioned previously, it also has allusions to The King in Yellow and many more that I alone could not point out. Besides that, vampires have been in circulation and in the zeitgeist ever since a plethora of remakes sharing the title of the 1922 film Nosferatu have appeared, a new Dracula movie as recent as last year, and another one coming out from the director of Hamnet. Look, I get it. Hollywood's out of ideas, but can we at least try to remind people where it actually all began? Let me ask you again.